I'm going to do an unpackaging video of a dry kag, an essential piece of kit if you're kayaking. And the idea of a dry kag is to keep you, as the name suggests, to keep you dry. And that means stopping water going in through any access around the neck, through the cuffs, and also around your waist where your kag joins the spray deck of your kayak. So let's have a look at one that I've purchased and I'll talk you through some of those key features. So this kag is an NRS kag, and I'll put the details in the description below, and I'll just put a picture on the screen so you can see the type of kag that it is, and we'll run through some of the key features. So the first thing to look at on any dry kag is the neck seal around here, because there is a lot of water, especially when you're on white water. There's a lot of water that is splashing around this area, and if you've got a loose collar like I'm wearing here on my shirt, that is just going to let water straight in, and water, cold water down your back and down your front is not a nice thing to have. So this is the idea of this collar on here, and that is very, very tight. That is going to go around the neck, and that is going to seal the collar and hopefully stop 80 to 90% of the water coming in through that access. The next thing is the cuffs, and this particular kag has a double seal, and this is really important. I'll tell you why in a minute. So let me show you. Let's bring this closer. You'll see that there is a latex cuff on the inside followed by a neoprene cuff over, and the reason for it being that way round is really simple, is that latex is easily snagged on things and it will rip, and obviously if it rips it's not going to work. So the neoprene over the top is just going to give you that extra protection against abrasion or tree branches or thorns or whatever, and try and protect that latex. So that is really important. Moving further down, we've got the seal around on the spray deck, and this one has two ways of sealing there. The first one is that we have this little long skirt that's going to go on the inside of the spray deck. So when you put the spray deck on, you're going to pull the spray deck into this area here. It allows you to tighten this waist seal so that it minimises any water that's going to go in through that area, and that's going to work really, really well. So I've had kags before where it has this waist seal here, the neoprene one, but doesn't really have this on any length, and that's not great because some water will go in and then it tends to go down your back, which is obviously makes you cold. So this will hopefully work. And also, if you look how long this is on me, if you're wearing waterproof trousers, which I generally do with this, those waterproof trousers are going to come up above this seal. So that means any water that shoots up here, goes over the top of your spray deck and comes back down, is only going to run down onto your legs, and that's going to be waterproof anyway. And it's going to be a minimal amount. We're not talking about bucket loads going in there, just a minimal amount that's going to go into your kayak, and that is probably permissible on this type of kag. That's the best you're going to get on here. So this one has a pocket just here, and although it does look like a waterproof zip, pretty sure that's not going to be 100% waterproof, so I wouldn't put anything. In fact, it's not 100% waterproof because I can see there's 3 drain holes there, but you could put something in there if you've got a waterproof mobile phone, or maybe your Paddle UK membership card, or waterproof one, or whatever's going to fit in there. That's brilliant. Now size wise, I've gone for an extra large on this, and yeah, not because I'm particularly extra large, although I probably am on that size spectrum, but because I'm going to wear stuff underneath the kag, and I really want to make sure there's room for that. So I don't want to put any restriction by feeling tight in the dry kag. I want to allow some movement, so the extra large is going to give me that movement. Let's talk about the material as well, because you need some really decent and strong material on the outside, because it is going to get abrasions on rocks or maybe against your kayak or other things that you're going to go past, maybe trees, etc. So that is going to need to resist those abrasions. And also, let me just show you on the inside of here. So all of the seals are taped, which means just here, where there's any stitching, there's actually a tape going over the top of that to make that even more waterproof. So where the holes of the needle, where it's stitched it, they've put this tape over the top to stop the water coming through the holes where the stitching is. And that is throughout the kag. So I really like that. There's a little NRS logo on the back, which is a bit weird having that on the back, but I'd have preferred that on the front, but never mind. When I'm paddling backwards, people will be able to see that that's an NRS kag. If I'm paddling forwards, yeah, they got no idea. Colour wise, I do like the colour. I'd maybe prefer a red or orange or something like that, so it's a bit easier to see, but my buoyancy aid is bright. So I'm less worried about the kag. The buoyancy aid is bright, and that gives me the visibility in low light and difficult misty conditions. So I'm going to try this on and we'll see what it looks like. I really like this. It's a really good fit. The cuffs felt great. So here's a tip: if you're wearing a dry kag like this, make sure you remove your watch, because with that latex seal on the inside, remember there's a second seal under there. You catch that on your watch strap, that can tear that. So it's really good idea to take off your watch or any bracelets or anything that you're wearing that might snag on the cuff. So really good fit there. There's plenty of movement, so I can move, I can perform my paddle strokes, do my roll, etc. The pocket easily accessible. As I said, it's not waterproof, but we can keep some things in there. This arrangement at the bottom, just to remind you, when I put the spray deck on, I'm going to pull the spray deck up here, so the seal of the spray deck is here, and then I'm going to pull that over the top, and I'm going to adjust this using the Velcro seal that's on the side here, so I can actually move those. Here looks like reflective material, so that's quite a good idea, and I'm expecting the NRS logo there perhaps to be reflective, and there's some text there. So I'm going to use this over the next few weeks because I've got some paddling sessions, some kayak sessions, so I will use this and I'll give an update in a future video. But if you're looking to buy a dry kag, then remember those particular features I've talked about. First one, the neck seal. What type of neck seal are you going to have on it? This one's got a neoprene one. You can get latex. There is some pluses and minuses. The neoprene is a little bit stronger to resist tearing. However, it doesn't keep out the water as well as a latex seal. So there are pluses and minuses on that. The same goes with the cuffs. The same kind of restrictions there is latex is good, but it can rip. When you are paddling, remember that your cuffs are going to be in the water, on white water especially. Your cuffs are going to be in the water a lot. So that seal needs to be very, very good. So if you can get a double seal like this, that's probably absolutely perfect for the type of thing you're going to be doing. Waist wise, I have had kags where we didn't have the skirt on here, and that will then allow some water to go in. A little bit more water will go in there as opposed to having this skirt on there. Price wise, dry kags can be £150-ish, that sort of figure, and they can go up to £500 or perhaps even more for some of the very specialist ones. So you can really spend some money on it, but for most purposes, those ones around the £150 mark are perfectly serviceable for the white water that's going to be done in the UK and the type of paddling that's going to be done in the UK. So I hope that helps. Keep paddling, keep strong, stay safe, and we'll see you soon.